Hello, this is Susan Patang from the Quiet Zone Coaching, and this is the next episode of Dear Aunt Susan, Advice on Being Human. And today we're going to talk about thoughts that you shouldn't think and what to replace them with. So think about this. We all have a running dialogue that goes on in our heads, right? Our mind is constantly telling us things, and it's kind of like a little devil or a little angel, depending on who you are and what the situation is. And they sit on your shoulder and they whisper in your ear. And you could say things to yourself like, oops, that wasn't good. Or, ha, take that, I did it. Or, oh, geez, look at that guy's pants. So sometimes that dialogue tells us things that are not helpful, and they cause us to dislike or to doubt ourselves. And it might seem innocent when you say to yourself, you idiot, why did you do that? How many times have we done that? Okay. But those messages over time slowly erode our self-esteem and our self-confidence. And they become what is known as cognitive distortions. A cognitive distortion is really just an exaggeration or an irrational thought that you begin to accept as being the truth. Your subconscious mind starts to believe that these things are true when they actually aren't. So you might think that because you did poorly on one test, that means you're a bad student. Or that if a friend says something snarky to you, that they hate you and they don't like you anymore. Or you might think that things should be a certain way, and then you get frustrated when they're not. And things just are the way they are, right? So these are patterns of self-talk that cause us to have our self-confidence and our self-esteem erode over time. And they also make us feel like crap. All right. So why feel like crap? Who wants to feel like crap? So here are some examples of some things that you might sometimes have in mind, some things that you might say to yourself that aren't going to help your self-confidence, and also some responses, what you can change them into that are healthy and that will help you build your self-esteem. So instead of thinking, I can't believe that I said something mean to Bob last week, I just can't stop thinking about it, I feel awful. Think this instead. Okay, I said something to Bob when I was angry, so I will apologize to him. I'll make it right. And now I know I can learn the lesson not to react to other people when I'm angry. I'm glad I learned something and I won't repeat that mistake. Instead of thinking something like, even though my boss said I did a great job on that report, I just got lucky. I'm really not that great at my job and my boss must think I'm an idiot. Think this instead. I'm so proud that my boss loved the work I did. See, I am good at what I do, and the boss even thinks so. I'm going to treat myself to a cappuccino for a job well done. Instead of thinking something like, things like this should never happen. I can't believe it. Why do bad things happen to me all the time? Think instead, wow, that was unfortunate. It's a shame stuff like that happens, but it does. So what can I do to prevent this from happening again? Instead of, oh my gosh, that woman just gave me a side eye. I must have said something. What did I do? Did I say something stupid? Oh God, what did I do wrong now? Think this instead. Wow, it seems like she's annoyed about something. That's a shame. Life is too short to spend angry. Do you see the pattern here? I think you get the idea. This is turning things around, making your thought process full of positivity and uplifting statements instead of things that are pushing you down. Another great tool that you can use to give yourself some positive self-talk is to pat yourself on the back and give yourself a round of applause for every small accomplishment that you score during the day. All right. And I know that sounds crazy, but it works because what you're doing is you're taking all these little small things that you do right, and it builds up over time. Okay. You can start saying, wow, look at all those things, pat yourself on the back, a round of applause, golfer's clap, all those things that I did wonderful today. Here are some examples. Okay. I'm so proud that I made it to work without speeding, or I got my errands done in half the time I thought it would. Big round of applause for me. There is always something that you can give yourself a big round of applause for. Give yourself kudos for a job well done. Even if it's only that you tried, okay, or that you were strong enough to survive something that was tough. So you could say something like, all right, I didn't get the grade I was hoping for, but at least I studied hard and I did my best. Pat on the back, round of applause. You did your best. Or, oh, geez, that meeting was brutal. At least I made it through without falling asleep. Well, that's a win right there. I've been in meetings like that. So if you're not sure how to change that running dialogue in your head, start by paying attention to it. What is it that you're saying? What am I telling myself? That's going to give you a really good idea about what your negative beliefs are about yourself and what your negative beliefs are about life in general. Whether you think that the world and the universe is out to get you, or that life is hard, or that things never work out for you, or sometimes we tell ourselves that we're stupid, or I'm not good at this, or I stink at that. Okay, when you have something like that happen and you start identifying what those negative core beliefs about yourself and about life are, combat that, put that fire out with logic. So let's just say you tell yourself, oh my gosh, I'm no good at this. This is terrible. I'm so stupid. All right, hold on. What have you done that is smart, that shows that you're smart? Focus on that instead. Well, I can't be stupid because look, I got an A on these tests. Somebody who's stupid would not have gotten an A on those tests, or would not have gotten the raise that I got, or would not have found the awesome apartment that I found, or found the great deal on my iPod, or whatever it is. There's always something that you did that's going to show that these negative beliefs just aren't true. Okay. We tend to, and that's a cognitive distortion. Okay. When we start thinking that something is true when it's not. Okay. We're believing this negative self-talk and that negative inner dialogue. And there are ways that you can get to the root of where that came from. And we'll talk about that in another episode. But start paying attention to that talk in your head, to that dialogue, and ask yourself, would I speak to somebody that I really care about that way? Would I talk to my mother or my father that way? Would I talk to my husband that way? Would I talk to my best friend that I love to death? Would I say those things to my friend when they were feeling bad? When they're in pain, would you talk to them like that? Don't do it to yourself then. Why would you treat other people better than how you're treating yourself? So make sure that your self-talk is positive, loving, kind, and encouraging in the same way that you would speak to somebody that you really care about. So until next time, have a wonderful, awesome, amazing week, and I'll talk to you soon. Oh, by the way, can't leave without the commercial. I teach coping skills to people who are in pain. If you would like to learn how to cope with the pain in life, no matter what that might be, if you're an adult or if you have a teen who is 16 and older who could use some help, go to www.thequietzonecoaching.com and sign up for a free life skills or coping skills diagnostic. It's an assessment session, and it's a real coaching session. We'll sit down, it's free. We'll sit down and figure out what's going on and how we can get you to where you need to be. Until next week, I will see you then. Have a great week.